What's happening, everybody? It's Spark and welcome to the next episode of my Breaking Point playthrough of F1 2021. Coming off the back of our last episode, we clawed back from being given a preferential power unit to finish in 4th place, and now we are at Mexico, coming to the end of the 2020 season, and things are still ropey between us and our teammate Casper Akkerman. So if you've been following the series, then do hit that subscribe button, that will help me out massively, and do hit that notification bell icon to be notified of future videos. We're going on now into the Mexican Grand Prix. Things are still tense. We're vying for a 5th place finish in the Constructors' Championship here, so we cannot have any kind of tension spoiling over, especially what happened in Italy when we were essentially given preferential treatment to have the power unit into our car, and basically saying anything for our star driver there, which was really bad management, particularly on Brian's part. And now we are coming into Mexico with a riled Casper and a riled version of us as well. Let's see what happens.
How's it feeling out there, Aiden?
Yeah, good. I think we can start to push a little. Where's Casper?
Ahead of you. Don't worry about Casper, Aiden. Let's just improve your current position.
Yeah, copy.
Objective, we need to catch up to Casper Akkerman before lap 17. We go down to the inside of the AlphaTauri of Pierre Gasly, and a nice little move there. In a track like Mexico, you literally have to cut the corners if you want to get the best launch, because those sausage curves on the inside, there's no room really for sort of error or any kind of leniency. You have to cut the corners initially so you can get enough. I mean, it's the same with time trial as well, which makes it very, very hard to navigate for us. We come up behind Sebastian Vettel there in the Ferrari, who's announced his departure to
4 places down on Casper.
Ferrari. And that's the thing, actually, Vettel is out of a drive because we're going to be the Aston Martin team for next year, and we're not actually going to see Sebastian Vettel land there. And God, we're having an absolute mare through those S's. Unfortunately for us, we're still not quite there yet in terms of finding our balance, and I haven't really had any practice driving Mexico around the track. Obviously making excuses for my rubbish driving, but yeah, I'm a racer, that's kind of what we do here. But we're not too far off Vettel now. I think we are within DRS range, and even if we go wide there on the F1 TV Pro signs, we've got overtake on, and we've got the DRS activation point coming up now. Let's see if we can reel in the tractor that is the Ferrari. It's got to be possible. This is the tractor that they're driving here. We've turned off overtake though. We go down the inside. We barge our way through Sebastian Vettel there, and it's not quite nice for. We've essentially taken over his team compared to real life, so Vettel's going to be out of the drive. In this alternate reality, Sebastian Vettel, it's gotten too much for him. He's not going to be with, it's not going to be with any team, right? It's not even going to be in Formula 1, so is it a reserve driver for a full-time world champion? No, that would be bad for him there. As Kevin Magnussen gets out of the way in the Haas, so sensible driving from the Dane there. And it's a shame that he's not going to be around either, because he was a personality. He certainly was a personality in the Formula 1 grid, but it's got nothing compared to the rival Dane Casper Akkerman now, who I'm not quite sure, still not sure yet what his crack is. I mean, why he hates Aiden as much as he does. And here we go then. They're coming out into the end of this section here. Let's go there. Oh! No, nothing to see there, guys. Nothing. Doesn't too much at all. I mean, didn't make any mistakes at all. Not quite sure what you saw there, but yep. God, I just have to admit that I'm really not good at this game. With the amount of instant flashbacks I'm having to use, and it's no different for when my Monaco video comes up for my team. In that one, like transferring to the wheel and trying to get anything right, particularly with the curbs of death on this game. I mean, you're gonna have to. I had to turn the damage down and put on the flashbacks, but to a point where at least I can get through. But I had to cut off the support at some point, or else there wouldn't be any real consequence for that My Team mode. But so stay tuned for that when you see my My Team video come out as well. And in addition to that, I'm also now on Instagram, so do give me a follow there, and my follow as well, Dan Talks F1. A lot of his content is really, really good, especially if you want to get a gossip going and integrate within the community. I'll absolutely follow Dan Talks F1 if you want to see the content there. But let's get back to the issue at hand. We are coming up behind Valtteri Bottas, of all people, in the Mercedes. So he's having an absolute mare. at this race in Mexico. I think in the 2019 race he actually had a crash and had to rebuild his car actually in qualifying. So I'm not quite sure where he started, but in this race it's not been good for Bottas, who at this point in real life is wondering whether he's going to even be in the Mercedes seat next year. There's many people up for the position, and Sebastian Vettel goes now to try and overtake us. We brake late and just cut him off there into the first few turns, and we hunt down the Mercedes driver of Valtteri Bottas, essentially with last year's Mercedes car, let's not forget, that what Racing Point based their design off of, and that's going to be quite tense. If you were to overtake a Mercedes with a current spec Mercedes with a last year's car, then that's not going to reflect badly on the person driving the current spec. And it's almost like the kind of situation Bottas was in earlier this year in Imola when he was up against George Russell, and then unfortunately Russell ended up crashing up into him, and that ended up putting an end of his race. And we are coming up now, and I think Butler at the moment is way behind us. I'm not sure where Butler is ahead actually of Mother in the points, but given the way this alternate storyline is playing out, I imagine Butler's ahead of us to some capacity. I imagine he's our main rival, finishing 5th place in the Constructors' Championship. So we have got to be on our guard here to pass Devon Butler, the man who we love to hate, the real villain of Formula 1, especially of the Formula 1 gaming universe, as it were. But the rivalry is between us and Akkerman. That's not our goal here, not to be Butler as we cut the corner there, because we got away with what we could there. Not quite though, but anywho, is Bottas in front of us. He's chasing down, I think it's a Renault in front of him there. Yeah, it's Daniel Ricciardo that he's chasing down. And we, at the moment, are chasing down all three of them, because I'm not quite sure what the rules are in the game in terms of catching up to our teammate. I mean, do we have to be the exact car behind him, or do we need to get within a certain time gap? But with only 3 laps to go, and it's still... There's 3 laps to go, and it's still not quite that easy to overtake here. The pressure is on for us. Anyway, we're behind Bottas now in the least likely DRS zone to overtake. We go down the inside, barge him a little bit way there, and we've got to settle Ricciardo now to really overtake coming to turn 1 if we're going to have any real chance, or at least guarantee the chance of getting through to the next chapter in this story mode. We go very wide there. That's going to give Ricciardo a lot more traction, a lot more space in between us now as we come down into the top.
You're in the top 10 now. Keep it up.
Yes, thanks for that, Jeff. We're in the top 10. Actually correcting my bad sort of commentary there. So for once, Jeff is actually doing something quite useful. It's now lap 16. We only got 1 lap to go before we have to catch up to the back of Casper Akkerman. And with Ricciardo in front of us, I don't know what that means. I don't know if we absolutely need to pass him, at least just to guarantee. Because with us not knowing something, you want to avoid like the worst case.
Clear from anyone watching
cutscene
in the
now.
stands or at home, the determination on show from Racing Point and Aidan Jackson today.
No, you're not wrong there, and his performance has improved race by race throughout the season, and his driving today, impeccable. Here's a test for him now, though, as they head down the main straight. There's a lot of friction between these two, and his teammates after him. Will he budge?
Hold position, Aidan.
Oh, I've never seen anything like this on a racetrack before. 2 teammates wheel to wheel.
Keep it clean.
Inches separating them, and they crash. Oh, they've come together in spectacular style, and they're both out of the race.
Oh shit. It's finally happened. They came together, but in the worst way possible. Almost like Spain 2016 for Mercedes. Disaster, as it says on screen, and no wonder. It is a complete worst case scenario for us, and there goes our chances of finishing 5th in the championship. This is going to be a very bad debrief. On the universal sign of "Don't talk to me, mate."
Close the door. Sit down. What the hell was going on out there? We've invested millions in you two. Millions! And look at you both. Acting like a couple of school kids. You've got a lot to prove this year, boy. And you're swanning around like butter wouldn't melt. And as for you, you should know better. I'm disgusted. You should both be ashamed.
Brian,
Not a word. Not a single word. I should fire you both right here and now. You've screwed our chances this season. The team is bigger than you two and your petty squabbles. Grow up! Any more, and you're both out. Do you hear me? I'll finish the season behind the wheel myself if I have to. Both of you, get out.
Yep, that was a bollocking.
Go away.
Hey.
Hey.
So, what did he say?
Threatened to fire both of us.
He won't.
That's not the point.
I'll just leave you be.
Is Lily okay? Does she know I'm safe?
Yeah, she saw you climb out. She's fine. I left her with your mother.
Okay, good.
You've survived worse, you know?
Doesn't make it any easier.
Maybe not, but you're not hurt. And you have a family who love you. The rest are just details. I'll see you later.
Oh man. Well, every story's got to have a low point at some point, and this is definitely it. So we've switched perspectives now. What I've seen, there's a coffee machine there, and there's different arrangements in the dressing room. We've gone now to Casper Akkerman's point of view. So, hopefully now, we should see the other side of the story. Like, what exactly is going on with his point of view with Aiden? Why was he so cold to him as soon as he joined the team? But I think that's a good point to transition, because it's a low point for both drivers there, so it's a great transition point. And with trackside and everything else capitalising on the story, I think from a team scenario, well, how exactly do we put this?
Now we are a fucking bunch of wankers. Yeah, bunch of fucking clowns here.
I'm so glad I did not pick Haas for my team this year. I would definitely love to see the memes that have come through after our crash at the moment. And I say, I mean, Casper's definitely got up the followers more than good old Aiden here. And looking at what they have is that they seem to be more sort of apportioning blame as opposed to delivery. I'll tell you what, that's probably something that I would like to see probably for next game, is that we don't just get these kind of generic sort of quotes that like he should apportion blame, they should apportion blame. But what they do happen when they do happen post racing Formula 1, what I would love to see more is them taking to sort of create sort of memes. It's great that we've got streamers involved as well. Like we sort of just saw there, you got Matty from WTF1, we've got Tiamat Marduk as well. I think you may have seen the other post, you would have had Jess McF1 as well as other people. And oh no, Otmar has emailed us and he wants to see us directly, and I hope that they don't show any footage of that, because I don't think Casper or Aiden would be too comfortable with that one. To be fair, at least our principal isn't Gunter Steiner. At least we didn't go to Haas. Otherwise, we would just be knocked into next week, and then Brian's obviously warned us not to make the situation worse. But it's nice that Lucas Weber has reached out to us there. I mean, having retired from Formula 1, he's now the Jolyon Palmer, I think, of the story. So it's nice to see what we've got from him. But I think now we're taking the story from Casper's perspective. Let's see what the other chapters bring forward to us. So there we go. I think that's the best way to wrap this episode. So thank you guys so much for watching. And if you enjoyed the series so far, then do hit that subscribe button. It would be great to have you around to the channel as well. And do hit that notification bell icon. Do leave a like and comment for how you guys felt that race battle. Whose fault was it? Was it Aiden's fault? Was it Casper's fault? Do let me know in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I've been Spark, you guys have been Brill, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.